Ayrshire. I do love an Ayrshire crowd, and I'm not just saying that for a cheap pop. Actually, my partner Diane is from Ayrshire. She's here tonight, don't worry darling, we'll be getting back to you a wee bit later. Diane's mum is here, she's also from Ayrshire. Now, I am not going to come all over Les Dawson. Well, so I've probably had worse nights. I'm not going to come over Les Dawson and do some mother-in-law jokes. I'll just tell you a true story about Margaret. Margaret a few years ago left her church. Some people leave their church for, though they just grow out in religion. Some people look for a wee bit of guidance in their life and the church hasn't been able to provide it. But no, Margaret battered fuck out of the minister's wife. So that's why she is no longer a member of the church. As you've got Ayrshire, lovely place, I love it. It's great to be in a place with so many favourite historical people. Robert Burns, Robert the Bruce, Sonny Bean. Yep, some of the young ones won't know who Sonny Bean is. He's a guy who lived in a cave, shagged his daughters and ate people as well. So, a modern day hybrid of Bear Grylls, Joseph Fritzl and Jeffrey Dahmer. So, I'm a pretty tolerant person. I don't get angry, but there is one thing in this world that makes the shit out of me, and that is young people. Young people are wee fannies, okay? Young people have ruined life for everyone. They've ruined life for the Silver Fox generation like myself. They have bastardised the English language. Is anyone here in a situationship tonight? A fucking situationship? What a pish. When I was a boy, you had a wee splash of Paco Rabanne, you got the train into town, and you went to Fury Murray's, and you were allowed to speak to women without getting put on the fucking nonce register. You could say, can I buy you a drink? Yes or no. You moved on to the next one. And if you struck out at the end of the night, you were up the Savoy in Suckhill Street for the 2 o'clock bin rape. But no, it's all been ruined now. The social ineptitude of these young folk over here, and at the risk of getting put on the nonce register, it's done now by Tinder and fucking filtered photographs. When did that become a thing? Tinder. Swipe left, swipe right. It's the world's saddest game, a deal or no deal. And then when the banker gives you an offer you're finally going to take, the filtered photo means that isn't the person you're fucking meeting. I've been married for 25 years, and I went on my first date in that time thinking I was going to meet Terry Hatcher from Desperate Housewives, but instead I met fucking Terry McCann from Minder. Anyway, so I've got a couple of young ones myself. Gen Z. Z stands for zilch, it stands for zero, because that is how much charisma these little bastards have. If you look up Gen Z in an encyclopedia, my 6-foot-tall daughter will be standing there. Now I have insight. If you looked up midlife crisis in an encyclopedia, there's me, hello! If you look up Gen Z, there's my daughter, 6 foot tall, in her big baggy jeans, her lime green and neon pink Adidas Samba, and her emotional support water bottle. Yes, she's heard me right. A fucking emotional support water bottle. When we were wee, we get our emotional support from your parents, and we shoot the water out the garden hose. But no, now it's an emotional support water bottle. A big bottle, you can buy stickers for it, you can put wee fobs on it, and you colour coordinate it with what you're wearing. So ladies, if you're that concerned about colour coordinating your outfit, your fit check, to me a fit check's a visit to the fucking diabetic podiatrist. If you're that bothered about matching your emotional support water bottle to your outfit, why don't you pay as much precision matching your eyebrows to the colour of your hair? And that's another bastardisation of the English words. Aesthetics. Aesthetics means visually pleasing. What the fuck is visually pleasing about a set of eyebrows that were selected for a game of Guess Who? And these lasses walking about fucking surprised all the time with an emotional fucking support water bottle. and they're big spam brews. You know that botulism is a food poisoning. How vain do you need to be to let someone put botulism into your head? Fucking big heat out like that, like we confident here. Go to a £20 a heat buffet and you get charged 30 quid. And big fucking Mick Jagger lips. And anal bleaching! Anal bleaching! Your wee bit in your ring over time, it becomes a bit darker, okay? It looks a little bit like Ace of Spades. Your ace of arse. Ace of arse. How do you know? How do you know? Who's telling you? Is your man doing? That's looking a bit fucking discoloured compared to the rest or something like that. Has anybody here, I don't want to get too personal, but who's at Kyle's? I have. And you pass a big bungle's finger one day and it bursts. It's fucking nippy. So why do you want to put bleach down there? And another thing, I live in Wishaw. And there's a wee cabin that's open near me. It's called the Brazilian Booty Lift Clinic. Where apparently they take fat from elsewhere in your body and stick it in your ass. And as I said, I'm from Wishaw, there's a lot of people from Wishaw. I'm actually the fucking scariest guy in Wishaw. There's a lot of people that are certainly no stranger to a lunchy box. Anyway, a wee bit extra on our eating chips just to make sure. Oh, where does that, what fucking size is the ass going to be? Do they graft 2 Oscar Pistorius running blades on it? You fucking go a bit like a centaur or something? And you're fucking emotional support water bottle. In fact, Brazilian back there, Brazilian used to be that wee line. You'd get a wax in the ladies and leave a wee line, a bit like Rolf Harris's goatee. Rolf Harris, that was another one, wasn't it? Rolf Harris. What did you? How the fuck did they not know? What were his 2 most famous songs? 2 little boys and Jake the Peg with extra leg. And clearly into bestiality as well. Because why the fuck would he want his kangaroo tied down? Anyway, managed to get through the aesthetics. Managed to get through the online dating because I have now found the love of my life over there, Diane. Close by you, probably close to your hearts, made very famous by podcaster, wrestler, actor, Grado. Where's she from? Stevenson. What part of Stevenson? Tap End of Stevenson. Fucking lovely place that. First time I went to hers, I was driving through all these couches and washing machines and the front gardens. I actually thought IKEA were having a fucking drive-through or something. Diane's actually officially the sexiest gran in Stevenson. And there was a lot of competition there because there were a lot of 20, 30-year-old girls that were all Anyway, we got engaged 2 months ago. We're getting married later this year. And as you do, if you live in the west of Scotland, you go into Glasgow, you go into the Argyll Arcade and Buchanan Street. If you've been in Glasgow recently, Buchanan Street, every couple of steps, I'm cold. Have you got any spare change? Have you pricey a cup of tea? You get pricey a drink. I says, oh Diane, can you just fucking shut up? So we're getting married down to this year in South Queensferry. We're both in diets, we're losing weight for the wedding. So we're starting to share food, something I never ever did in my time. But last night we're sitting, I was having a Kit Kat, and I says, you want half of this? She says, no. I thought, that's unusual. That's the first time she's ever refused a finger the time that I've known her. I was talking about biscuits, dirty bastards. I'm talking about chocolate biscuits. And we still gay, you know, we're in our 50s, but you need to keep healthy, you need to keep dating. So we went to the Michael Jackson movie a couple of weeks ago. Woo, who shouted woo? What I thought was hilarious was, it comes up, Michael Jackson, BFFFC, or whatever it's called. All children under the age of 12 must be accompanied by an adult. I thought, not about fucking 35 years too late for that statement. And these wee fannies, we'll go back to the wee fannies again, with their heroes, influencers. Influencing what, apart from how fucking high my blood pressure is right now? Or content creators, another bastardisation of the English language. Content creators, content make, create, content stuff, create, make. What do your idols do? They make stuff. My hero when I was a boy was Hulk Hogan. Now the reason my hero was Hulk Hogan was everybody's got an inner voice. My inner voice speaks to me in Hulk Hogan's voice. Say your prayers, brother. Eat your vitamins, brother. Vote for Donald Trump, brother. Not a boo, you usually got a fucking boo, you need to explain that democracy's also been bastardised in the English language. But no, keep here great again, getting cheese. So, Diane, right, we're getting married, and the wedding plans were going great, but who's ruined our wedding plans? I guess fucking young people again. Have you got your content creator? No, I can make my own stuff, thank you very much. Have you got your magician? So some guys in here are from my generation, you'll remember 1981, if you were a Protestant, it was a lovely hot summer's day, but we get fucking dragged in to watch Charles and Di get married. And we sat there with a wee drink of water out the hose, and we had one piece of sugar, and it was piece of sugar. Do you remember who had a piece of sugar? Yes. It wasn't fucking gluten-free bread and stevia. It was a piece of sugar, fucking emotional support water bottles. But I don't remember Paul Daniels running down Westminster Abbey, pulling rabbits out his sleeve and 10p pieces behind everybody's ear. And have you got your magicians, have you got your fucking content creators, have you got your boxer flip-flops? No, we fucking haven't, because it's all style and no substance. Another thing, I'll be leaving you very shortly, but I'll leave you a wee passing thing, but all style and no substance, gender reveals. Gender reveals. Fucking helicopters flying by with blue and pink smoke. Myself and my ex-wife, we went through fertility treatment for my 22-year-old Gen Z poster girl and my 19-year-old prick. We just wanted two healthy, happy babies. But there are some moments in your life that define you, and they really stick with you forever. And I'll just remember that day I came crashing through the doors with a lump in my throat and a tear in my eye, saying, "It's a boy, it's a boy!" And that was the moment I realised I'm never going back to Thailand on holiday again. Thank you very much, Sarah.